Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have all of you here. Today we're going to be doing a short course on baking. I'll be teaching you how to bake and make a chocolate cake. A yummy one which you will enjoy and one which the whole family will call you even a professional. Today we shall be making a chocolate cake with all the primary cake ingredients, but to impart our chocolate flavor, we shall use Gyendi cocoa powder. So sit back and relax, and I hope you learned something new. Straight onto the video. These are the ingredients you need. Half a cup of Gyendi cocoa powder, which you can get from our website. 250 grams of margarine. Any brand of your choice can work. Prestige, Blue Band, whatever you want to use. 250 grams of sugar. Any Ugandan brand can work. 5 eggs, 2¼ cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking soda. When I say we're going to use baking soda, not baking powder, because it reacts better with cocoa, and 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. These are the tools you'll need. A baking pan. In my video you'll see that I used a 10-inch diameter pan. If you don't have a baking pan, it's okay, you can use a saucepan. You'll need measuring cups, you'll need a wooden spoon, plastic bowls, teaspoons, a sieve, and if you have a stand mixer, that's good, so that you can mix your ingredients. If you don't have one, it's still okay, or you can do this using your hands. My first step is to grease my baking pan with margarine or oil. I then line the bottom of the pan with a parchment paper. Alternatively, I can line my pan with any piece of paper around the house as long as it fits the bottom of my pan. I then get 1 cup and 1/4 cup. I measure out my flour. I ensure that the cup is flat. Please make sure that it's flat so that you don't get any errors. I measure out 2¼ cups of flour, all of them flat. Now let's measure out our baking soda. As you can see, I'm using baking soda, not baking powder. I got this one at the shop for around 600 shillings. Yeah. Any brand of baking soda will work, or they call it bicarbonate of soda. So I measure out flat teaspoons of baking soda, 3 of them, but ensure that they're extremely flat, because if you use excess, your cake will tend to become sour. Yet we want a perfectly tasty cake, a yummy chocolate cake. Take note of how I do it and try to do the same back in your own kitchen. It's time to measure our cocoa powder. I get a 1/2 cup from my measuring set and measure out 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. So I'm using Gyendi cocoa powder. It's all natural. I know you guys have tasted cakes where it claims to be chocolate, but clearly they probably just put brown food coloring in the cake. So if you want to make a good chocolate cake, I recommend this brand to you. You can check out the link in the description below, or check out gyendicocoa.com and get yourself a tin. Yes, it's extremely good for making chocolate cakes, and the taste is just marvelous. You'll love it, trust me. Though currently we are doing a chocolate cake, it's not really a sponge cake. This cocoa powder would be perfect for making a black forest cake, which uses a different method, but the taste will remain the same. And so I pour my cocoa powder into the mixture containing the baking soda and the flour. I then sieve these dry ingredients into a bowl for them to mix properly. I pour sugar into a bowl and add the margarine. I then beat them using a wooden spoon. So I mix this with a lot of energy because I want something light and fluffy at the end. You can see the kind of thing I want, and this is the consistency you should be aiming for. Now crack my eggs into my mixture, all 5 of them. I would recommend doing this on a side plate if you're not sure about the type of eggs you have. So you don't want to beat a rotten egg into your mixture, so do it on a plate first. I now mix these ingredients together. Notice I'm using a very slow speed, not as much energy as I used before. If you're going to use a mixer, mix on the lowest speed possible. I've recommended this because I've done many of these cakes before. I measure out 1 cup of water. I add a bit of flour to my mixture and a bit of water, and then mix. Then add more flour and more water. Continue mixing. So I do this until all the flour is completely done and the water is completely done. I would say that we are mixing at a medium speed. Not as much energy as the first mixture, but neither is it very low energy as when we were adding the eggs. This is the kind of consistency we are aiming for. Pour your mixture into a cake pan. Most recipes recommend preheating your oven, but come on, yaka is expensive. You can't preheat your oven while you're doing other things and mixing your ingredients. So this is what I do instead. I switch on the oven for about 10 minutes before I put on the cake at maximum heat. Then I place in my cake and immediately reduce the heat to 180 degrees centigrade or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the temperature my cake will bake at. I leave my cake in for about 1 hour 15 minutes to completely bake. Or you can test whether it's ready by inserting a fork and then removing it and ensuring no particles come out. Of course, there will be some small particles, but it should be relatively clean. Ovens are made by different manufacturers in different countries, so I recommend that you kind of find out where your 180 degrees is. So on my oven, I have a tabletop oven. The maximum is 250 degrees. The rest of the spots are labeled 1 to 3. So I had to calculate where my 180 degrees centigrade was mathematically. And once I found it, I realized it's between 2 and 3. So I always bake at that sweet spot between 2 and 3. Not beyond, not low. Also, you need to learn your oven. Some ovens produce a lot of heat and you may find that your cake recipe may be ready in 1 hour. Others produce lower heat, so you'll find your cake may be ready in 1.5 hours. So it takes time for you to learn. So on my oven, I discovered that the sweet spot is 1 hour 15 minutes. You should learn your own oven so that you can become a pro at what you're doing. When my cake is ready, I take it out of the oven and leave it to cool. I also have an icing tutorial you should check out. Thank you for attending my class, and I wish you good luck baking this chocolate cake. If you have any questions on how to do this, or if you face any issues, you can post on our Facebook page, Gyendi Cocoa. Or simply comment down below with your question and we shall get back to you.